All right, everybody, it's time for the End of Chaser Spirits and Beer Pairing Show. It is Wednesday, July the 24th, 2024. Jersey Johnny coming at you. And with me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai and Mr. Beer Whisperer. How are you two
I'm
gentlemen doing?
here. I was just telling my wife before you went on the air, so we should have the Chris Kane song "Drinking Straight Tequila" as the opener.
Yeah,
For
you know what? We should probably do a different song based on whatever spirit we're doing. But the problem is that we go to YouTube, right? And
yeah,
licensing every
licensing
time.
issues. Yes.
So,
And the key word being sue.
right. Exactly.
Those bastards have no sense of humor.
Exactly. None whatsoever.
Who does these days except us?
Exactly.
Well,
How are you?
I think I'm hilarious, but
And
not
I know
everybody
you're
else does.
hilarious. So.
And our wonderful listeners. They wouldn't listen to us if they didn't have a sense of humor.
Exactly. They couldn't listen to us if they didn't have a sense of humor.
Well, see, there you go.
They wouldn't put up with this crap.
Exactly. All right. How are you two gents doing this evening?
I said it earlier. I'm thirsty. I feel the need. I feel the need.
Feel the need.
For some
The
tequila.
need for tequila. Yeah, there you
And
go.
now we're gonna launch John into another Christopher Walken impersonation like he did yesterday.
There you go.
On the Lager Room Guys show. It's been so long since the three of us have been together.
I know it's been forever.
Here we are. It's
We've
been
had
a
drinks,
minute.
so- Well, I'm thirsty. I know Dave's thirsty.
Yeah.
I know Tom's thirsty. So why don't we kick it off and then we could BS while we're drinking? How's that?
Should we tell people what what the show's about?
Well, why don't we do that? That's what I was about to kick off.
Go ahead.
Everyone, happy National Tequila Day. Happy National Tequila Day. It is National Tequila Day.
National
So we
Tequila
are
Day.
drinking tequila. We are drinking tequila in one form or another.
And you
Some
never
drinks,
forget your
some
first
cocktails.
tequila hangover.
You never do. You never get rid of your first tequila hangover. That's
Well, see, that's it right there.
Oh, I may have right off the bat poured way too much.
I'm shocked. I'm.
Oh,
utterly
look at
shocked.
you. So I've got a local beer from Banter Brewing. It's a summer seasonal called Some Beach. So it's a golden ale that uses pineapple and tahini.
Oh, cool.
So to do, I did several things, but I did a margarita kind of simple syrup, but I did it spicy. I charred some jalapenos, and then I steeped that in with my simple syrup to give it a little bite. So I've got a couple different applications. I do have a margarita with this, but I developed a margarita shot for an event at the brewery about a week ago. So I have my first pour of beer and the first shot. I'm going to let you all talk about your stuff while I get started.
All right, Samurai.
Well, I've got a couple of bottles of tequila here. The beer, I've got it down here. I haven't poured it yet. I've been keeping it cold. But I'm actually going to start off.
That's delicious.
Not as high end as you can get, but pretty damn high end, and not get into those really, really fancy ones that are from, like a Herradura. I forget what the real high end Herradura is. It's amazing. I've had it, but I've gone with Artenome Selection 1120.
Nice.
1120.
Oh, good Lord.
And that number 1123, when we get into the informational portion of the program, I'll explain what that 1123 is. But this Artenome, I could only find it in restaurants. This place, Chico's in Denville, to be specific. Chico loved them. He's the one that turned me on to them. And then when I saw it at the that liquor store in Boonton, John, that we always talk about, when I saw it there, I'm like, I need this. I need this. It's possibly my favorite tequila that is under 3 digits. So it's just fantastic. It's a Blanco or a Plata if you want to get fancy. A Blanco and a Plata are the same damn thing. Unless you want to call it white or silver.
Ah, hell.
Silver, yeah.
Yeah, the people that want to be fancy, they're going to call it silver. But I've never had so much flavor in this Blanco that I've had in this Blanco. It's just I don't know if I don't know if it's the distilling process, or if it's because they age it in uncharred barrels, so there's no color, so they get some flavor out. Because there is some there's some cinnamon to this, vanilla to this.
Right.
But it also might be the process, because Artenome produces 4 varieties,
right,
and they're done by 4 master tequileros. I believe it's tequileros.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yes, it sounds right. That's close enough. But so what I did is, John and I order beer from Tavor all the time because we love spending too much money on beer, but we also love getting beer that we can't find elsewhere.
This is very true.
And Elder Pine makes some really good stuff. So I picked up an Elder Pine, and here I thought it was just a Japanese lager. Well, it's Kinkitsu. And when I read what it was, it's made with rice, green tea, yuzu, lemon, and wheat. I'm like,
Yuzu?
Maizu.
Oh, yeah.
Mizu. But when I read
it's too early for the bad jokes, guys. At least do 2 shots of tequila.
Never too early.
It's never too early. But when I read this list of ingredients, I'm like, this, because I was just going to do a Mexican lager, because right, it's tequila, you do a Mexican lager. That's what goes with tequila for the most part. But when I read this list of ingredients, like, this is going to go so well with the florality of this particular tequila. I was like, I'm drinking it on the show.
There you go.
So we'll get to that. What do you got there, John?
All right. Well, I decided, since again, a Tavor beer, right, that I've been wanting to drink for a while. Just no reason to drink it, no need to drink it. So more on that. I'll show that beer in a moment. But I decided to make a Paloma. I was going to make a regular Paloma, but
describe to people what a Paloma is.
A Paloma is.
I've actually forgotten what a Paloma is.
Tequila, grapefruit juice, lime club. That's
why I forgot, because I can't drink grapefruit juice.
Right.
I love it, but I can't drink it.
Right. So I replaced the grapefruit juice with pickle juice.
Oh my god!
It wasn't my call. Like, I didn't come up with it, right?
So you've made a piccoloma.
So I've made a piccoloma. Right?
I'm getting heartburn just thinking about it.
There you go. I made a piccoloma. It's a pickle paloma. I like to call it a pickle paloma. So I was not, because of that, I was not going to use my Herradura Reposado. So I'm using Casamigos.
Oh, there we go.
We'll talk about that.
More on Casamigos in a moment. Yep. So let me pour a little of the.
And Tom, what spirit are you drinking there?
So I've got, you know me, Dave. I like to go local. I like to stay with the theme of the program, but sometimes I take a few liberties. Let's just say.
Tom never leaves Springfield, apparently.
Hey man, I practice what I preach. So it is an agave spirit from Tiaki Da Spirits, right here, a sister company to Springfield Brewing Company, which I've got a second deal later I'll get into. But anyway, I'll start with just this. It's 80 proof. To read you just a little bit here, inspired by the kindred relationships that make life more extraordinary. Every bottle holds a story, and every glass is an opportunity to gather. So anyways, I told you I was going to do I gave Dave a little shit for wanting to do a margarita, and then I did one anyway. But who knows? But I did a little different. I made this simple syrup using key lime, some salt, and some fresh orange zest, and some charred jalapenos to give it a little bite.
Very nice.
Put that in your simple syrup. That sounds phenomenal. Once again,
Tom, since I have a Tiaki Da glass here, there it is.
There it is, and we got a little jalapeno floating in there.
Yep, it is. Yep.
That's
a charred jalapeno in there.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice. Oh god, that is delicious. Wow, I hate to pat myself on the back, but that's fucking brilliant.
Why don't you go ahead, pat yourself on the back? Go for it.
Just not while you're drinking. I don't want to see you choke.
You don't want to do that. I got to tell you, okay, and the beer I'm drinking with this, all right, is again from Tavor. It's from Martin House Brewing. And
they do some weird stuff there. And this is one of the weirder ones.
Best made sour pickle beer. Best made sour pickle beer.
I just can't get into the pickle thing. I'm not a pickle guy. The whole pickle, everything, the pickle shots. I just don't get it, man.
So, but I got to tell you, I haven't taken a sip yet. It smells fantastic. I got to be honest with you.
The thing about that that Martin House, it's a pickle goza. So if you're going to do a pickle beer, doing it as a goza, I think, is the way to go.
It's the way to goza.
It's the way to goza.
The way to goza. Here we go.
And John knows where I had that beer. I had that beer in Plano, Texas. Actually,
in Plano, Texas. Yeah.
Oh, what was his name? He was on the show.
Rick.
Rick.
Yeah, Rick Alley.
Drank it with Rick. Brought some back.
You had it in Plano. You didn't have it in. I thought his place was in
well,
Fort Worth.
Is he Fort Worth? No, he's got two places. One's in Fort Worth, and one's just outside of Plano.
Okay.
And it was one just outside of Plano where
Damn, that's delicious.
And I've had a lot of pickle beers since. The only other pickle beer that I've ever liked, other than that one, was Ketos does one in Salt Lake City.
Sure.
So we talked about that when we had Dave on the show.
We did. Well, cheers, gents.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salud. There you go.
Salud. This stuff is so
Wow.
smooth.
This is. I gotta be honest with you. It's pretty damn good. Little bit of brine from the pickle. The lime mixes well with it. The tequila actually rounds it out nicely, and obviously the club in there.
Now that was the Casamigos Blanco, right?
Blanco, yes, Blanco.
That's the Blanco.
Mm-hmm.
So
now
we.
Now I got to taste the. Hold on. Now I got to taste.
Oh yeah, you got to do the beer.
All right. It smells. And no, that was the end of the sentence.
It smells.
So give me a little backstory on this beer I'm drinking.
Oh my god! Hold on.
Came out last year.
Hold on.
What do you got?
Wow.
Did your asshole just pucker?
No, yeah, right. There's pickle juice in my cocktail. This is straight pickle juice.
Pretty much.
All right.
It is.
It's sour, but it's good. I mean, I like pickles, right? I'm not like,
You could use that to make your cocktail.
I could have just poured the tequila in this and just been drinking one thing.
There you go.
But this is definitely, it's a goza. It's super sour, super puckering. There's a lot of pickle juice in this, but yeah, leave it to Martin House to do something fucked up.
But it works. That thing works.
But it works. Go ahead, Tom. I'm sorry I cut you off. Go for it.
So the story on this beer is it was meant to be a one off, right? The owner brewer Brian wasn't crazy about it, but when he sampled it among the patrons, everybody loved it. He wasn't crazy about it. It didn't work for him, but everybody loved it. So he said, okay, he made it. Everybody drank it. It's gone. He'll never have to worry about it again. But he got so many calls to brew it again. He had to brew it again. So it just came out again. And once again, he hates the beer, but everybody else seems to love it. It uses pineapple and tahini, and it's called Some Beach. It's a perfect summer beer.
That sounds fantastic. Actually, I'd love to get some of that. That's awesome. We got a comment in here from Doug Smith. Should I put that up on YouTube? Doug wrote in, just got back from Dogfish Head in Milton, Delaware. Talk about and a chaser. Sadly, no tequila from the distillery, but they had some beautiful American single.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
As well as rum and gin. Yeah, it's
that's awesome.
The spirit game at Dogfish Head. It's actually pretty spot on. It's actually doing very well. So.
You're reading the other comment now, John.
Oh, yeah.
A little too late. Or we can roll into it. The reason I'd asked Sean to let's not put Doug's up till we get the informational because
I didn't even notice the private until I already clicked on it. So.
Yes, because his rolls into some of this informational stuff because he said that they had no tequila. There's a reason they don't have tequila, and there's a reason that the Tequila is called an agave spirit and not a tequila.
Right.
For it to be a tequila, it must be distilled in Jalisco, Mexico.
Yes.
And it must be distilled from the blue agave plant.
Right. That's spelled Jalisco.
Jalisco. And there's two regions. There's the valley region, and then there's the hills, the Alta region. The Alta region, you're going to get sweeter blue agave, and down in the valley, it's going to be more herbal in the flavor there. So, if you like the sweeter ones, look for the ones where the distillery is up in the mountains rather than down in the valley.
Sure.
Down in the valley.
But the other thing is, and it ties into what I'm drinking, this is artanome. That this word here, nome, and this number is very, very important in tequila. This is 1123 is the nome. And nome is Norma, let me see if I remember. Norma Oficial Mexicana. That's a nome back there. Yes, John.
Yes.
But that's
I have a gnome too.
Is that a giant's gnome?
It's a giant.
Which is contradictory, but
exactly, it's a giant gnome.
But the Norma Oficial Mexicana, they are like the governing body of tequila for purity, production, all of that. and there's over 100 distilleries that are registered. And when you're registered with the gnome, you get a gnome number. And so in this case, this distillery is gnome 1123.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the other tequila that I have here, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on the label because it's on the neck wrap.
Right.
You know, those things are infernally hard to read, but this is right up in there.
Oh, okay.
Gnome 1102. They're just focused on it. So it's a different distillery. Now there's only 200 gnomes, a little over 100 gnomes registered, but there's over 2,000 brands of tequila that are registered, which tells you what?
A few things actually.
Well, think about Buffalo Trace. It's like Buffalo Trace, where Buffalo Trace produces so many of the bourbon labels, so many of the brands, and that's the same thing with the gnomes in all the distilleries in Jalisco. Is a lot of them distill more than one brand.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. They're going to be they probably. I would imagine I've been to Mexico, just not to Jalisco. The hell was that?
That was his ice rattling.
Oh wow! It literally didn't even sound like ice. It sounded like beeping.
Yeah.
But yeah,
cool.
I'm sure there's like, you know, they're contract houses, right? They're gonna distill for many different spirit makers.
Holy crap, this beer really does go well with this. And so what they do with Art of Gnome is the 4 distilleries, they've taken this organization, these 4 guys have gotten together, 4 master distillers, the Tequileros.
Right.
And each one of them, there's two platas, or I'm sorry, blancos, 1 reposado, and 1 añejo.
Right.
You know, and then you guys know what those 3 things mean, right? And how where the cutoffs are.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Right. So if it's not aged, we'll tell the audience, if it's not aged at all, then it's a blanco or a plata. If it's aged up to over 3 months, it becomes a reposado. Reposado is just Spanish for arrested.
Blanco. Jalisco, Mexico.
Yes. Does it have a gnome? It should have a gnome on there.
I'm looking.
It'll be there somewhere.
And what would it say?
It'd just be NOM with 4 numbers afterwards.
NOM with. I have no.
Oh, okay. Maybe not. Maybe when a celebrity owns your distillery, you don't need to register the gnome. But back to that. So now, if you go at least 12 months in the barrel, you are now añejo. Añejo means rested.
Yeah.
And añejo was that was the darkest, the oldest. But people started wanting things aged a little longer. 2006, the Norma Oficial Mexicana allowed the designation for 3 years and over, and that's where we now see extra añejo. Now we're also seeing blanco añejos, right, where you've got the white añejos. Those are they're in a barrel. It's just not a charred barrel, so it gets no color, but it gets all the flavor.
Get that toasted, that toasted oak, yeah.
No, the oak's not toasted, so you don't get that. You just really get the vanillins and the wood out of it. It's all that's really coming out of it. You're not, because there's no char whatsoever. So
char and toasted are 2 different things, David.
Yeah, but they don't even toast the barrel.
Sure.
So these are
These just fresh wood, fresh oak,
fresh oak barrels. So.
Because most oak barrels are toasted, even if they're not charred, they're toasted.
Well, we got to look at that. You might be right about that. It might still be toasted, but I don't get too much of a toasted flavor out of a white añejo.
Well, I mean, even if the barrel isn't toasted, you will be after you drink some of it.
Toasted, roasted.
I like John. He's a glass half full kind of guy. I like it. I like the optimism. I like the sunny disposition.
I'm saying this is going pretty damn well with the tequila.
David, I missed it a little bit because I was probably talking, but tell me a little bit about that beer.
So this is from Elder Pine. It's called Kankitsu, and I had bought it through Tavor, and I got 4 of them because I'm like, Japanese lagers. I love Japanese lagers. So let's but when it showed up, I guess I didn't read the whole damn thing because it's brewed with rice, green tea, yuzu, lemon, and wheat.
Yuzu. Oh, yeah, that was the yuzu. Okay,
That was the yuzu
I'm back
joke.
now.
So, but when you, and I'm like, you know what? Because I was just going to do a Mexican lager. Tequila, Mexican lager is kind of a no-brainer. But
all the day, there you go.
Yeah, it's kind of boring. And when I read the ingredients in this, I'm like, this is going to go so well with that Artenome. So I changed it up, and that's what I went with. I'm very, very happy that I did.
There you go. We got another comment from Doug Smith. He said, Dave, are you the tequila whisperer? You seem very well versed. Muy bueno, mi amigo.
It's funny because I mentioned Chico's earlier. And when I would go to Chico's, the POS, they used to put me in as a Tequila Dave.
Tequila Dave.
Because Chico, the owner, and I were like the only people in the building that knew anything about tequila.
There you go. This is true. Where did Tom run up to?
It wasn't my turn to watch him, John.
I'm back. I figured you were talking. I was getting my next thing. So this goes back to what I was talking to you earlier about me.
Wait a second.
Me playing fast and loose with the format because I had a Tequila spirit. Because I had this spirit, I needed to have a Tequila beer. So I came up with a beer cocktail. So I'm using the Green Dragon, which is a 7.5% double IPA, and then I've got an ounce of I've got an ounce of my I got a half ounce of the simple syrup, and then an ounce of the tequila in the glass with a jalapeno, as you can see there. And I'm going to pour that in for the beer cocktail.
There you go. That I got to tell you, that sounds good, and I definitely think that you had that measured out perfectly to pour that beer in there and fill that glass. So,
well, now I do.
He fooled me. There you go.
Yeah, he fooled you. You thought he had the wash line down perfect.
Thought he had it down perfect. Exactly.
Damn, that is good.
Oh, that is really good. Pickle Paloma.
I think we're all very, very happy with our libations tonight.
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
I'm very happy with my cocktail tonight.
Even now, you have.
I gotta say, I'm not a tequila guy. So when this show came up, I gotta admit, I was very unhappy. I don't. Tequila is one of the spirits I never keep in my house. I'm not a fan. But I had to, okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna buy something local. I want the agave spirit, but it's tequila in spirit. But I gotta tell you, I love the margarita.
They did there. It's tequila in spirit. I like
in spirit. See what I did there? But it made me get out of my, maybe kind of get out of the box, out of my comfort zone a little bit, and create something. So I like that you made me do that.
Well, what's going to happen on this show? We're always going to have a show. Every one of us is going to have a show eventually where we're going to I don't particularly like what we're drinking tonight, and what we're going to do is exactly what Tom did. We're going to make it so we're going to like it. That's a big part of mixology, if you want to use that term. I know that term's falling out of favor because it became so douchey. But bartending skill is to make something that your customer likes to drink, and in this case, we're our customer.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So when we come across, a show, if it's something we don't like, we're going to make it into something we're going to like.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, if we do drink something we really don't particularly like, I guess upchucking on the show could, that can go viral.
It wouldn't be the first time, would it, Dave?
No one has ever thrown up on the show.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
No,
I thought you did once. No, you passed out. You didn't throw up. Never mind.
I didn't pass out. I rested my eyes for a couple of minutes.
Well, that's true because it was only for a few minutes. We did hear you snoring at one point.
If I had actually passed out, I probably would have fallen off the stool.
It's almost 4 years ago at this point, and we're still talking about it.
Oh yeah,
that's how great that was.
Well, see, why it's funny is that it could have happened to any of the three of us. That much alcohol was drank that night.
100%.
And
we were all about that too.
We
100%.
And
I hurt so bad the next day. Oh my God, it was brutal.
And the reason I got hit so hard, and it's the reason now on the Locker Room Guys show, most shows we open up, I'm eating something because I rushed home, I got stuck in traffic, and I didn't eat anything before the show.
Oh, yeah.
And it was one of those shows where we drank, we We
Tried
had
to
3 or
outdrink
4
each other.
beers.
Well, it was my first appearance.
Yes, it
It
was.
was your first show you were on. Yep.
We were drinking bourbon. We were
And you brought me
drinking-
back is the amazing thing.
You have been on, not obviously not including these shows, just on the Log Room guys. Excuse me, just on the Log Room guys, including the you've co-hosted in Dave's absence once.
Yes.
You have been on the show, not including your co-hosting duties, 15 times.
That's
I'm
considerable.
almost a regular.
No, you are a regular. You are the regular. Actually, Tom,
I'm an irregular.
you just took the words right out of my mouth. You are irregular. But I do hope, for your sake, at your age, that you're regular.
Yes, well, no, sadly
Well,
I'm not. But
that's why
nevertheless.
late in the next show he does, he's got a prune juice cocktail.
Oh, see, there you go. See, now I have to do it.
Oh, wait a second.
I don't want to.
No.
I'm gonna hate the idea, but now it's a moral imperative.
He's gonna do a cinnamon prune simple syrup. That's what's coming up.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
Oh, no. See, you guys have no idea what you just started.
Oh, yes, we do.
Oh yes. You know what's
But my
interesting?
wife's over here shaking her head because she knows how obsessive I am.
One thing I did not expect from this pairing is the beer is making the tequila sweeter.
Nice.
Really? Okay, that's interesting. Oh,
I
but
did
because
not
it's because it's dry.
It's
Dry,
extremely
right?
dry. It's extremely
Yeah,
dry.
yeah, that makes sense. Actually, that you say that. Yeah.
Can I ask either of you, gents, if you'd be interested? I think, I'm not 100% sure. I think I have another can of this. Okay. Would either of you two gentlemen like it?
No, under no
You-
circumstances.
You know,
I
there's
don't like
there's
pickles.
someone in the other room that'll drink.
I will
Hey.
only eat a kosher pickle if it's on a Chicago dog.
Ah.
Oh, all right. Well, I love pickles. I can eat pickles.
I'm not a pickle guy at all.
I
No,
love
I don't.
pickles. I love olives. I love
I
sauerkraut.
love olives,
I love
yeah.
kimchi.
And I like bread and butter pickles. I don't like sweet pickles, but I like bread and butter. But I love olives.
Did you say
but dill
olive
pickles-
olives?
Olive
What?
olive?
He said olives.
I love olives.
Never mind.
I love
Yeah.
olives.
We just
Never-
bust cut Tom.
It's tequila.
Exactly.
It's the tequila.
It is tequila. There you go.
Now, John, you're using the Casamigos.
Or as my dad would say, tequila.
Tequila, yeah.
Right, you're using the Casamigos. What's interesting is almost every spirit that we have, there's always a celebrity that gets involved and wants to do spirits.
Of course.
Yeah.
And with tequila, the first was Sammy Hagar.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cabo
Right,
Wabo.
with Cabo Wabo, which
Cabo
was one of
Wabo,
the
yeah.
worst tequilas you could ever put in your face.
Was
That's
it really? I never had it. Was it
Oh.
really that bad?
It
It
was
was
light. It was
awful.
lighter fluid.
Yeah, it was.
Because it was expensive as all hell.
Oh, because it was Sammy's.
Yeah.
So then, Clooney comes around with Casamigos. Much better. Much better.
So, honestly, I mean, I don't know enough about the product, but tell me, is it really that? Does it compare to others at the same price point?
No.
No. It's
Well, same price point. I mean, yeah. I mean, at the price point Casamigos is at, you're only all you're getting is. I mean, Don Julio is probably in there, and that Don Julio is probably a little bit better because it's more of a traditional tequila, right?
Okay,
I'm not talking
that's my
about-
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it worth the price point?
I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. It's not.
Okay.
Let's put it this way. All right. I don't dislike it. I drink it. I don't drink it often. This bottle was gifted to me, so I didn't buy this bottle, but I have purchased, on the rocks or a shot of it or whatever in the past. It's not true tequila. Let's put it this way. It's almost as if it's barrel aged, but not really. There's a slight vanilla flavor to it.
which is fine.
Which is fine. Right. It's softer. All right. It's not as harsh. Like the lower price, and this isn't cheap. It's not like it's $20 a bottle. It's in the 40s, but
yeah.
But you're paying for the name, basically, right?
Not so much that. It's just that it's softer tequila. So you're not.
Okay.
It's not approaching lighter fluid. Those $20-$25 bottles of Blanco tequila, they're out tequila, right? Like you said, right? But this is definitely softer. It's It's meant for it's like a gateway tequila. How's that?
Okay, there you go. That's a good answer. Yeah.
But I think the reason being is it's not so much the process that makes it smooth. I think it is severely filtered.
Oh, super filtered.
You think?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense too. Yeah.
And in the meantime, I looked it up, and it is a true tequila. It's known as 1416.
It's not on here anywhere.
It may not be in the bottle, but it does have a gnome, and that's at 1416 is where that is.
It's not on here at all.
So now,
wait, no.
You just missed it.
I apologize. I missed it. It's Gnome, N-O-M, is 1416. This is 1609.
Okay, so the Blanco is not distilled at the same place as the Añejo, because the 1416 is the Añejo.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So they're distilled in two different places. Mm-hmm. Now we've just had another celebrity jump into the tequila game.
I don't hate it.
Tequila.
I will drink it. I drink my Herradura Reposado and Añejo better more often. And I don't drink that much tequila. You know, I'm like Tom. I'm a bourbon rye guy, and during the summer I'm a gin guy. But when I do drink tequila, I lean towards them. But I don't, you know, if somebody's in a bar, hey, I just bought you a Casamigos. Here you go. I'm not going to say no thanks. I'll drink it. It's good.
Yeah,
that's not bad. But
because that's rude. That's you know, bar etiquette. If somebody buys you a drink, you drink it, unless it's well liquor. Unless it's well liquor, you can turn down well liquor. But if somebody buys you a drink, you drink it.
No. I always say thank you. If it's something I just don't want to drink, I'll cheers, take a sip, pretend, or at least, and and then when they're not looking,
yeah. Do a Hogan's Heroes into the plane.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, cheers.
Whoa. Okay. But Casamigos is what it is. But it's like we've just had another celebrity jump into the tequila game.
Yes.
And that is The Rock.
Really? Oh, I hadn't seen that. Wow.
Yep.
How bad is that going to be?
Well, it's called Terramana. And out of, I forget where we were, but I saw it on the list. I think it was in Pittsburgh. I'll have to ask Carrie. I don't quite remember where I had it. So I ordered it. And I tried. You know what? At any rate, I think I might remember where it was. But at any rate, it actually wasn't that bad.
Really?
It was actually pretty good. I actually liked it better than Casamigos.
But see, here's the thing. Going back to the question I asked John, is it worth the price point? Or are there is it as good as other tequilas at that same price point?
I don't know the price point because I asked for a shot of it in a bar.
Okay, gotcha.
So I don't know. I've not priced it out on the shelf yet to see where it lands as far as price against Casamigos. I imagine the price point, if The Rock is smart, he's put it at the same price point or maybe just a little lower than Casamigos. And if you're at the same price point and putting out a superior product, that's the way to do it. And so if he's right about the same price point in Casamigos, then he's winning.
So if you were buying this by the bottle, what would be the price point you would think is acceptable?
For Terramana,
mm-hmm.
I would say probably 40 to 45 wouldn't be a bad price point.
Okay. For it. So 40 would be acceptable.
Yeah.
Okay.
And John, did you just look up the price points of these two?
I'm almost done. I was just hold on one second. I just want somebody's opinion on this pickle sour.
You're bringing someone upstairs for it.
A lot of pickle?
Yeah, but it's good. It's not bad.
Yeah, all right, here you go. It's not bad, she said. Yeah, it's a goza. It's a goza. It's just a pickle goza is all it is. I'm looking at Casamigos.
So you look at the Casamigos.
Yeah, it's in the the Blanco,
right?
$43, $44
okay.
for $750.
And Terramana is $44.
The Reposado, Casamigos has a Reposado, is $48. It's only a couple dollars.
Okay, so is that an acceptable price, David? Would you pay that price
for Casamigos? No. If it was Terramana, I would. Now John's looking up Terramana as we speak.
Okay.
They have one more second. They have a
Añejo.
apparently they're doing an añejo, and it's $54.
But I want John to look up these prices in the same place because prices vary depending where you are. So,
Terramana,
Terramana, Teremana.
one word.
One word.
Terramana. There we go. The Blanco is $57. No,
Oof.
No, really? Wow.
No. My bad. Hold on. It is $37.
There you go. I think that's worth it.
$37. Yeah, the $57 is a 1.75 liter.
Okay, but then there you go then.
Yep. And they have a Reposado for the Reposado is cheaper.
Really? That's interesting.
Reposado is 33, where the Blanco is 37.
You don't see that too often.
Well, no. I will tell you one tequila I actually have been having more often than not when we pick up a bottle of tequila.
He escaped again.
It's Espolon.
Espolon, yes. Espolon's that is a good standard tequila. It's good for its price.
For the price point, right?
Right, because you can get what an Espolon
in the 30s.
Añejo around 30, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Espolon's really good. But what I've done is I've moved on to another tequila. I've got 2 tequilas to drink tonight. And
really, you're having another tequila?
I'm having another tequila.
Tequila. Oh, okay.
Tres Generaciones. Time for the big shoe dance. This is probably for the longest time one of my favorite, easier to get tequilas in the U.S. They have, and if you drink a lot of tequila, you'll recognize this as the old bottle. So I've had this one for a little bit.
Oh wow! Okay.
They've changed their bottle shapes. It looks like a pot still, doesn't it?
It looks like you plotzed
a pot still, not.
Oh, pot.
But I didn't drink.
I just really liked that tequila. I mean, you know,
it's I didn't pour as much of it, but this is the Añejo and Tres Generaciones. The price of that started to shoot up, and it's
and then it went to a methadone clinic.
Yes,
haven't we all?
That was in his 20s. That was Tom's dating strategy.
There you go.
Well, see, now you're giving it. Well, I was skinny, I was ugly, and I had no game. I had to do what I had to do. And now I'm fat, old, and ugly.
But you're happy, right?
I really am, yeah.
Yeah, so that's all that matters, man.
That's all that matters.
Fat and happy is much better than skinny and miserable.
That's right.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
I was lucky I found my wife. That's what made me happy.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is a way. That's a lifestyle.
That's a lifestyle.
I'm sorry, that's now a lifestyle.
It might have been at Faber College in the 60s, but it is now.
It is now. So I'm doing it, Dave, and I'm having my not quite as expensive as his spirit as a shot. Because I haven't tried it that way yet.
You don't want to know what I paid for this bottle, Tom. You'll throw up if I tell you.
Bottle time.
Well,
why don't you tell
your definition of lighter fluid is what I paid for this bottle. So.
This, and to me, it was worth every penny. This is an $80 bottle of tequila.
Oh gosh, wow. Well, that's not bad. Well, I was going to say that's bad, but I mean, I know I've paid more for that than good bourbon, so yeah, that's not bad.
This is to me one of the finest Blancos out there. Absolutely wonderful. And when this bottle's gone,
so I got to be honest with you. This bottle was under $30.
That makes sense.
But I got to tell you, I mean, like I said, I'm not a fan of tequila, but I mean, this is easy to drink neat. I mean, it's a little sweet. I don't know what flavors I'm supposed to be getting. To be honest with you, I'm not familiar enough, but.
Well, you should be getting agave.
But yeah, I don't even know what that. I'm getting
Well,
some sweetness. I tell you what, I'm not getting. I'm not getting any harshness. Right? There's no bite. There's none of that.
well,
You know.
that's
Oh
good.
my god. So it's not hard to drink. It's just I don't know. It may not be nuanced. I'm getting the sweetness, which was probably the agave.
Right. Well, agave, yes, can throw sweetness, but you're going to get like a almost an herbal, grassy flavor out of it.
Yeah, I'm getting that
Yep,
little herbal. Yeah,
that's the agave. Remember,
but it
agave
doesn't feel
is,
harsh. It's not like drinking well vodka. You know what I mean?
well, the thing is, a lot of people, and this is a great point because Tom's not a fan of tequila, and I think I know why. Because he drank Jose Cuervo.
Yeah, my very first tequila hangover was on Cuervo Gold, and you never forget that
Does
one.
that mean
man.
you've never had Jose Cuervo, Dave?
Oh, I have.
Then there you go.
But the thing is, if you get really, really drunk and get really badly hungover off Jose Cuervo, it can put you off tequila for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And
I mean, I remember that
here's
taste to
the
this very
thing.
day, and that was
Here's-
a long time ago.
Here's the thing. Here's this what I always say, right? Yes, that I've had my share back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Of Jose Cuervo Gold, right? Cuervo Gold, not even just Cuervo Gold, right?
And fine Colombian.
Makes
tonight a wonderful thing.
But I got to be honest with you,
Say it
David.
again.
This is
Say it
rather inexpensive, but it's not
Say it
harsh at
again.
all.
Yeah.
And there's no burn. There's no burn here.
Well, that's what it should be. My point is, Cuervo Gold.
You know what?
Was almost everybody's introduction into tequila.
Hold that thought. We were just talking Steely Dan. The Cuervo Gold, the fine Colombian, make tonight a wonderful thing. Say it again. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Blah, right? It just dawned on me after all these years of knowing Tom. I'm getting big time Walter Becker vibes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I get that.
Yeah. Okay, we'll just call him Wally from now on.
Never, ever, ever put the two together.
There we go.
No, okay. Part of me thinks you're insulting me, but I'm going to take it as a
Oh,
compliment.
not at all.
No, that's
Not at all. Not in the least. Walter, hey, to Walter.
Walter Becker.
That man was brilliant, man.
Oh, yes, he
He
was.
was. But no, what I was saying, Jose Cuervo, Cuervo Gold specifically.
My favorite Steely Dan song is "My Old School."
My old school is a great song.
It is.
It is.
Annandale.
Yep.
But I do like
Put
Cousin
me on the
Dupree.
Wolverine uptown.
Cousin Dupree's a very bad song in a very good way.
Which one?
Cousin Dupree.
Okay.
There's too many good Steely Dan songs. Kid Charlemagne is fantastic.
Oh, Kid Charlemagne.
The guitar solo in Kid Charlemagne is people to this day talk about it. But anyway, go ahead, Dave. Jose Cuervo.
Well, we'll get back. We'll come back to Steely Dan because I do want to talk about Steely Dan, but I do want to finish the point I made about
Make your point.
27 minutes ago.
I'm sorry, Dave. We get sidetracked around.
But I got to be like Tom and just not be able to be sidetracked and just keep talking.
There you go.
But he's good
Oh,
at
I'm
that.
constantly.
I'm enjoying this, but it's I don't know. It's starting to throw a little something. At any rate, no, but so many people get introduced into the tequila world with Cuervo Gold, just like a lot of people get into the whiskey world with Jack Daniels.
Or Jim Beam, yeah.
Yeah, and all these things are awfulness, and can throw people off of that family of spirits for a very, very long time until
That's true,
they gain that bravery to come back in and try something else. I had a friend, him and I used to throw these parties, and what we would do, we'd pick a spirit.
Oh.
We'd invite 6 people, and everyone's job was to bring one top shelf bottle from within that spirit. So we could all try 6 different versions of that spirit and good versions of it.
That's interesting. Okay.
This way we could all experience it without having to spend over $200 to try 6 different bottles. And, a lot of people would come out of those and, maybe fell in love with their bottle because they're the one that bought it. Or, it's like, man, I really like what you got there, and then go out and get that. So this is a great way to explore spirits. If you don't want to go out and spend a lot of money, get a bunch of friends, split that cost to get a whole bunch of bottles and do that. And it's one way I got back into tequila, was through that, and some also some other spirits. But we're talking about Cuervo Gold. I don't want to disrespect the Jose Cuervo family. They are one of the OGs. They're one of the pioneers in tequila. And when you get outside the Cuervo Gold label,
It's outside the hose.
you get outside the hose and get like if you get into Familia, that's some good stuff. The Tradicional, that's some good stuff. And they've got some of the higher end stuff. It's really worth trying because trust me, they do know what they're doing. It's just that Cuervo Gold, that is distilled for the masses. It's rot gut. It'll tequila, right? It is just not. It's not. To me, it's not drinkable. And Cuervo Gold is why there is that the salt, the shot, the lime.
Yeah,
because you don't want to taste.
Right, and this is what I was saying before, right? The aroma, the smell, the nose feel, if you will.
Yes.
Off of
hi, Eric.
Yeah, off a shot of Cuervo Gold, and the flavor of it, right? What you call it? It is what it is. Right?
It's formaldehyde.
Right, it is what it is. So, but it's not a really good tequila. Aroma and flavor. It's not. It's completely different. So
it's a panty remover, is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that is,
so,
and that's what it's cheap. Mm-hmm. So when you're young, it's what you use to get yourself drunk, your friends drunk, and
absolutely,
the ladies that you're with drunk.
Yeah.
That's its only role in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm also certain that it can probably break some welds and pipes if you need to do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got to be honest with you. Like I said, this bottle is less than $30, and I'm enjoying the flavor of it neat. So,
and that's a beautiful thing, And that's another point. You don't have to spend a lot of money to find something that you're going to enjoy. Right?
Yeah, because I was expecting that those flavors you were talking about, that lighter fluid, but there's no burn. I don't have the sophisticated palate you have for tequila. So for me, I'm not tasting everything that you would.
That's just experience.
But I do feel that sweetness, those herbal notes that you mentioned, but I'm not feeling any burn at all from this.
It's what it should be. Neither of these tequilas had a burn to them. John's does not have a burn.
Does not have a burn at all. No.
Right. And I certainly hope that this show that you dreaded for so long, Tom, got you back into the tequila world and is making you see tequila in a different light.
Yeah, to be honest with you, so the same distillery's got two more aged versions that you talked about. So I'm going to try those next, but I want to do a Blanco for this one.
Yeah, that's 100%. A great place to start. Always a great place to start.
I got to tell you too. I waited. I took a sip of water, and I didn't. No. Let me be honest with you. I took a sip of water, and I didn't take the last little bit of my cocktail, and I took a couple of sips of the sour. The flavors I was getting when I was going back and forth, it's not pairing. Okay, it's not complimentary. When I step away from the cocktail and I don't have any of the cocktail on my mind or my palate, and I'm just drinking this, it tastes the same, so to speak. But I can pick out what the flavors are supposed to be.
Gotcha.
All right.
There you go.
So sometimes what we think might be like flavors are not compatible, right?
Right. My point being this: if I do have that other one, I'm gonna go look. If I do have the other one, I will drink that other one, but I will drink it with a Reuben, or I will drink it with a corned beef sandwich.
Corned beef. There you go. See, that's a Chicago dog.
That too. Yeah, I will drink it with something. I will drink it with something that's pickle forward. Not tequila, lime, and pickle forward, right? So there you go. But this, it's not.
That makes sense. Actually,
Jess tasted it. When Jess tasted it, and she's like, "Oh, it's not." And if she wasn't like, if I wasn't liking it, she wouldn't have liked it. But she's like, "Oh," and so I got to hold off a minute. I got to taste it in a different light. But yeah, that's the case. So yeah, it's
one of the better ones out there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's. Now I'm just away from the cocktail. I'm just getting the pickle, and I'm getting that goes. I can separate them, and I can see.
I'm just giving the pickle.
I'm just giving you the pickle. It was one of those signs. I don't know if you ever saw it. There was one of those signs where, they make a mistake or whatever with the printing. It's in a deli. It was next to the pickle barrel, right? and it says, "If you would like your pickle drained, ask an employee."
I'm sure that's an extra charge.
And there was no upcharge for it, apparently.
Oh, really?
included with the price.
I
Wait a
would
second.
pay dearly to have my pickle drained.
Wait a second. Did you get to choose which employee? It
didn't say. It didn't say.
Or was it always like Hans? Hans is going to come out and drain your pickle for you.
But it's like that old joke. $2 for a cheese sandwich, $5 for a hand job. The guy says, "Are you the girl that does the hand jobs?" She says, "Yes." "Well, then wash your hands and make me a cheese sandwich."
Awesome.
All
So
right.
I had to pour more.
Anyways, I digress.
But I digress. We all digress. All right. Oh, we're coming up on an hour. And there you go. I just got to pull up the outro here. So let's wrap up our tequila talk for National Tequila Day. Tom,
but not until I bring up my favorite Steely Dan song.
Oh, please do.
"Dirty Work."
I don't want to do your dirty work no more.
No more. And the thing is,
I'm a fool to do your dirty work.
The song is just called "Dirty Work."
It's just called "Dirty Work," and for some reason, it was left off the greatest.
Singing that song. So.
Yeah, he was just going through the whole thing. It was left off the greatest hits for me.
You know why it was left off the greatest? It's off of the first album.
Yeah, it's off the first album, so I don't know.
First album is "Can't Buy Me a Thrill."
That's right.
Jeff Skunk Baxter. Jeff Skunk Baxter is a genius.
It's the only hit that Steely Dan ever had that Donald Fagen does not sing. That's not Donald Fagen singing, hence why it was left off of the greatest hits. And if you see Steely Dan in concert, which I have many times,
they won't play it, will they?
No, they play it. Donald Fagen doesn't sing it.
Donald Fagen is great.
He has three.
So is Brecker, but they weren't the same after they lost Skunk.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. They have three. They have three backup singers, if you will. The three of them sing that song. They each take a verse.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And one of the three of them is actually, I think her name is Cheryl, but her last name is Lenhart. Michael Lenhart is Donald Fagen's trumpet player, if you will.
So it'd be his
sister, wife? It's his sister. It's his sister.
Are we talking actual trumpet or
No, trumpet, actual trumpet. and
Jay Lenhart. Tom's cut off.
Jay Lenhart is their father. Jay Lenhart is their father.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Jay Lenhart is the old school bass player, right?
Yeah.
Stand-up bass player. And I did have the pleasure of actually doing a TV pilot once with Jay and Michael Lenhart.
Oh, very cool.
Nice.
Several other people. Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool show. It was
Donald Fagen,
great guys.
Like you said, Steely Dan after a while was not Steely Dan anymore. Donald Fagen went off on his solo career.
Steely Dan was Donald Fagen and Walter Becker.
That's
No. I disagree. That's what it became, but that's not what it was. Because without Jeff Skunk Baxter, they were a whole different unit.
They were, but here's the thing, right? They were what they were at the first album, but the second album they had a whole, other than one other guitarist, and it wasn't Skunk, because Skunk was on to Doobie Brothers by then. They were another backup unit, if you will. So, but the one constant throughout the years was Donald Fagen and Walter Becker. They were Steely Dan. Everybody else was supporting cast, even back to Can't Buy Me a Thrill.
Well, I agree that's what they became, but I disagree with that's what they are.
Well, no, that's what they maybe it's not what they were on the onset, but it's what they
became. Yes, I agree with that, but
because they
were never the same without Skunk, in my opinion.
Right, you had so many different musicians playing guitar. Drums.
I mean, they became nothing but they became nothing but a studio creation. Asia on,
and they really didn't tour. They only started touring again in the '90s. And they first started with the Rock and Soul Review, which was
you're right about that, though. Yeah, a lot like the Alan Parsons Project was all studio musicians that didn't tour. Right?
Yeah, they had two on the Asia album. They had two different drummers. Steve Gadd played some songs, and Bernard Purdy played a couple.
Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. Yeah.
So,
well, then Fagen went into a solo career. What did you guys think of his solo work?
I
like that. I like the Nightfly. I like the Nightfly.
I really enjoyed Kamakiriad.
Kamakiriad is good. But I like the Night
love
Fly.
that
I mean,
It was too commercial for me. I got to be honest. I wasn't a fan.
Night
It was too
Fly,
commercial.
IGY,
Night Fly IGY was fantastic. I think it was
International Geophysical Year,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
and they had
not for me. It was
New
too
Frontier.
commercial. It was trying too hard for me.
Well, Kamakirian was like almost anti-commercial. It just did not.
No.
I didn't think it was very he's for him experimentally jazz driven. And I really
there were some jazz elements, but
a lot of jazz elements to that.
It did feel like very commercial to me, though. Yeah.
There you go. Well, I could sit and talk about Steely Dan all night,
But John's got another show to do.
but I got a sports show to do.
Yes, he does.
I do.
And he has to appear. He has to appear like he's not wasted to do that particular show.
Oh no! Trust me.
Yeah,
The other guys love it when he's wasted. They love it.
But yeah, trust in the fact that Steely Dan is definitely one of my favorite groups, and I've seen them many times. And
nice.
Once more, one more. Yeah, they're fantastic. And that New York, that Rock and Soul Review was fantastic when they did it.
It really was, yeah.
And it was Donald Fagen, Walter Becker, Michael McDonald, Boz Scaggs, Phoebe Snow.
Oh my God, Boz Scaggs, Phoebe Snow.
Phoebe Snow was the ultimate studio singer.
Yep.
She really was. Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
And Michael McDonald, you get the feeling.
Well, Michael McDonald was a pseudo member of Steely Dan anyway. He sung backup on many songs.
But this is my point. He sang backup on so many damn songs. You get the feeling that Michael McDonald just lived at the studio.
Pretty much.
And he did, actually.
Between Steely Dan, between his permanent gig with Doobie Brothers. And between
which
Steely
was
Dan,
75, right?
Cross,
he joined the Doobies in 75, if I remember right.
Between Steely Dan, Christopher Cross,
Christopher Cross,
Kenny Loggins, Toto.
But you get the feeling that a band came into the studio like, "Oh, we're recording the song. We need one more backup singer."
Michael,
like, "Hey, Mike's in the lobby."
Michael's over here. Grab Michael. He'll sing anything.
And then his solo stuff too,
But you ever get the feeling his style of singing to me is like he would take a hit off a joint. It sounds like he's singing with it while he's holding his breath. Next time you hear him,
he does,
right. Next time you listen to him, tell me it doesn't sound like he's just taking a big hit off of a spleef, and now he's trying to sing while keeping the smoke in his lungs.
Well,
that's what he sounds like.
Probably how it started, and it probably going from there.
Probably did, and I'm not complaining. I love his singing.
He was in a band called the Doobie Brothers.
This is very true. This was very true. All right.
Yes, he was.
All right. Well, gents, happy. I got one little sip of this left, and I finished the beer, so I'm taking this now. Happy National Tequila Day, once again.
Salud.
There you go. Salud. It came out really good. I'll send you the recipe, even though you could probably figure that out anyway. But in any event, yes, we'll surprise you because we'll surprise ourselves with what we're doing in 2 weeks.
Oh God, help me!
But in any,
don't take me alive.
Exactly.
That's
a good song.
Oh my God, it's not fun. Don't take me alive. That's a great song.
That's a great song. Great song.
That's a phenomenal song. That's another one of my favorites.
I love that song.
So there is nothing on
that's off of the Royal Scam.
It is
Royal Scam. Yeah, wrap it up, John, before Dave starts talking again.
No, just to say, there's nothing on the calendar in 2 weeks that will drive the show. So we're hoping to have a guest on the show, but we've not got confirmation on that.
We've not got confirmation, but we'll let you know. Pay attention to the Facebook page, and we'll keep it from there. Anyway, on that note, we will wrap up the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website. All of the End of Chaser info will be on www.logroom.com. That's LEGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on Facebook at End of Chaser. And of course, all of the shows are available on YouTube as well on the Logger Room channel. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on Facebook and YouTube. We can say that now because we're just approaching 100 follows. So follow us so we can get that up over there. But on Facebook and YouTube, every other Wednesday around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on our audio host, Spreaker, as well as iHeartRadio, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, Audible.
That's that pickle juice. That's
It is.
Yeah.
Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts,
Pickle
TuneIn,
juice,
Podcast
pickle juice,
Addict,
pickle juice.
Castbox, Deezer, Podchaser. Listen to us. Pretty much anywhere you'll find audio podcasts, you can find the End of Chaser podcast. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful couple of weeks. And we will talk to you in a couple of weeks, folks. Happy National Tequila Day.
I am feeling so warm right now.
Nice. Good for you.
Beautifully so.
Take care, folks. Cheers.